I'm here in the Lake District to visit one of the oldest cinemas in the UK. A family-owned cinema that has been standing for over 108 years.
Hello.
Hello.
Lovely to meet you.
Welcome to the Keswick Alhambra Cinema.
Thank you very much.
So we've been here 108 years and there's still lots of original features, but we've changed and updated it quite a lot during COVID. You can see the original radiators. This area used to be the kiosk, and in the early days, this is where the actual auditorium started, and they fitted 555 people in. We now only fit 157 between balcony and stalls of Screen 1. This is the thing that we were really keen to preserve. When I came here 5 years ago and my husband and I took over management from my dad, and we were thinking about all the various options that we could try and make the business earn a bit more money. The one thing was non-negotiable that we weren't going to change is that we'd keep this original Edwardian screen and the ceiling and the balcony, because this is the sort of thing that you don't see very often.
No, I've never seen a cinema like this.
No, there's loads were built, but some of them now would have a second screen up in the balcony and the projection might come out from the bottom, but we really wanted to preserve it. So it's still as it was, with curtains that open and close and tabs that open and close. So at the beginning of the film, you'll hear the squeak of the curtain rolling and you'll hear them as the tabs roll in. And that's something we really wanted to keep.
It has to be said that even now, going in feels like I'm walking back in time.
People used to go to the cinema. They didn't necessarily want to see a particular film. They were just happy to go, as it was somewhere to go and be out on a Saturday evening.
I started here first as an usher, working 4 nights a week with the ice cream tray. And it was Carol's dad, who was my main manager, who did nothing. So we used to scurry around him. No, he was very good.
They must love having you around if they don't let you go.
It's a bit of both, because they know I love it. So they know I probably wouldn't leave, to be fair. I think it's this, when we first moved up here, I obviously didn't know anyone and didn't have any sort of main friends. So this is sort of was the start of my social life in a way, because this is where I met people and this is where I became part of Keswick. So yeah, I've kept around.
So you've got a lot of memories here.
Yes.
Do you remember coming to the cinema and watching any films in particular?
Not particularly, because I was always working here. At the beginning when we first came, I mean, I do come on my off time, but before we refurbed and put the second screen in, we used to have exit doors at the back. As you came in the front door of the cinema, the shop was right in front of you, and there was the 2 exit doors that took you into downstairs. Tom would sit on one side, I would sit on the other, and we'd watch all the films. So if we were running a film, we would watch them all.
So you managed to see them that way?
Yeah, whereas now, obviously there's 2 doors in between each one, and quite often we're working solo, so we don't get the chance to when we're on shift.
I'm David Miller.
Nice to meet you. And what do you do at the cinema?
I'm everything behind the counter.
Everything behind the counter.
And I also happen to programme the Keswick Film Festival and the Keswick Film Club. This is the home of the Keswick Film Club, and in its first year, way back in the year 2000, we had the very first film festival. And apart from COVID, we've had one every year since, and I've been involved with programming since 2001.
Fantastic. So has there been any films that have stood out to you when you've hosted the film festival?
Lots of films, but more importantly the guests. You know, people that we've managed to attract.
Yeah.
And Nick Rogue was fantastic. Michael Winner was interesting. Stephen Frears was also quite interesting. And Ken Loach was out this world, just out this world.
So the special memories of the guests?
The guests, really, yes. And, you know, meeting some of the newer filmmakers at Daly, we had Andrea Arnold when she just made her first film. So we've managed to welcome quite a lot of guests, and it's been very, very good.
Oh, that was our original. It used to be on the wall. I think it dates from about the 80s. I think. It used to be sort of on the edge of the wall. Actually, no, probably more like 70s, to be fair. But then Jonathan's put all lit So it's pretty much the same on the side.
All the snacks and the
Yeah.
drinks.
This
everything.
is where you could probably have a really nice night, but then be really, really sick afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's stores, so it's pretty much identical to the other side, and there is actually still, I think, possibly the base of the toilet in there. I know that the toilet roll holders still. But yeah, and there were sort of original hooks and radiators and quite cute little spaces. I suppose this is where the actors,
Yeah.
and what have you, when they did theatre productions and things here.
Chilling, hanging out.
Yeah.
You've never been tempted just to have a good night on your own here?
I've been here till quite late before, but usually sweeping and picking up all the dead spiders and things. Yeah.
All the good jobs.
Yeah, ratching around, eating the odd as I go.
They don't need to know.
No.
They won't miss it.
No.
They've got enough.
There is so much history and hidden mysteries around the cinema. Every corner I look, there is another part to explore.
It's part of the art of projection, but that has sort of died away now. But the idea of the curtain was to protect the viewer from a blank screen. The audience should never, ever see a naked cinema screen, because it completely destroys the illusion that you're creating by bringing them into this darkened room with no windows and a gold curtain, making you wonder what's behind the curtain. So the correct procedure, and it's not one that I've been able to get my co-directors to incorporate in the computer system yet, is that the light should slowly dim to give you an impression of this upcoming event. And then the next thing that should happen is the film should be projected onto the curtains, nowhere else, onto the curtains. And once the film is showing on the curtains, then you draw back the curtains and you reveal the picture, and you're transported out of this darkened room into Hollywood or wherever.
Although you've got less seats, it feels more special. It's not just sit down, like you said, we get exchange the money, watch the thing and then go home.
When we developed it, not only did we put in a different layout of seats and new seats, we actually oriented them all, and if you will notice, every single seat is facing the center of the screen. It's not in rows and straight rows, they're all curved, so you're on a radius facing the screen.
Always facing the front and center of the film. I always come to the cinema and they're always just blocks.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
You've done a fantastic job. You have some history here, I believe, in the Keswick Cinema.
Yes, I have. I worked here for over 30 years.
When was that between?
Here we go. Man alive. I've been trying to count it back myself. So it must have been in the 70s. I'm trying to remember. I left Keswick, went to work in dog kennels, and then I came back. So yeah, it'd be about in the 70s.
Could you explain what this is?
It's the ice cream tray.
Okay, and I believe you used to use this.
Yes. Somebody's altered that, and it used to be under that there. But that was like that.
What is that?
That's better.
You used to have all the ice
And we
cream
brought down the front and stand there.
You say wood. Did you shout?
No,
Just wait.
we used to have a light on here, and people just came forward and got what they wanted.
Did you ever have some of the ice creams yourself?
No. No, I
Good
was a good
sedative,
girl. And then I'd go upstairs and come down to the front on both sides.
Do you miss the ice cream?
No.
No. Not for the customers. No.
No, I didn't like doing it, and then as I became assistant manager, the other usherettes started doing it. Because I started off as a cleaner, and then went to usherette in, and then became assistant manager.
So you've seen all
Spectrum.
the areas of this place. You know, inside and out.
Because under there is where the cleaning stuff used to be kept, so I don't knock down and go down. But where the bar is now, used to be you could go through there and through to next door, which was the booking shop. But now that's a house, so we don't have that anymore. So there.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. When I stepped in to the cinema in the main entrance, now I'm in here in the screen, I've felt comfortable the entire time. I've never seen a cinema like this before. All the chairs, they're just positioned perfectly. When you sit down, you are literally watching the center of the screen. I've never been in a cinema like that. All in rows, and you all see the same thing. This gives you your own experience. I've not watched the film in here yet, but I really want to. Just down to the colors, you can tell that every single bit of detail, everything they've got is made to be personal, to tell a story, to give you that full experience. Yeah, feels like I'm home. This is where I should be.
I urge everyone who visits Keswick to book a film at the Alhambra and travel back to the past for a few hours, and I promise you won't regret it. I certainly didn't.